What is up, YouTube? Hannah Mandala here, and I am back with a brand new video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I come out with a new video every single Tuesday, so make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, I am super excited to be talking with you today because I am going to be talking about why sex and love as we know it is bullshit. And I have a big surprise about my channel that is coming out at the end, so make sure you stick to the end of this video, obviously. But before I get there, I want to just fill you in on a couple things that have happened in my life that have led me to want to create a new thing and to share that content with you guys. So, for lots of my life, and I'm sure a lot of other people, probably mainly females, for their lives, embody a persona of themselves that is highly sexually charged and sexually driven. And there's nothing wrong with embodying the sexuality of ourselves. But I'm here to talk about how that sex object is really convoluted with sexual objectification and the hypersexualization of females in general. And I gotta acknowledge that I'm a heterosexual, like, white female so this is obviously from my biased perspective. And obviously I'm always learning and continuing, which is really important in these topics of discussion because, so I just want to acknowledge that I am a work in progress, and from this point that I've had in my life so far, I'm feeling really propelled to talk about this. So a lot of females embody this sexual objectification, or they end up dating guys or are doing things like going out to clubs or whatever and like hooking up with guys or whatever, out of good fun and stuff. But sometimes, and I mean, if that's your cup of tea, that's fine, that's your truth. However, that when I was doing those things, that didn't align with my truth, and I feel I want to talk about these things because I feel there's certain aspects of what I've gone through that other people are going to be able to relate to, and I'm super excited to dive into that. But most recently, in the past 2 years, I've kind of realized that I've never learned how to say no. And I'm speaking predominantly to the other females out there who struggle to say no and to speak up for themselves, particularly when it comes to male counterparts or sexual counterparts. And it's kind of sad. I'm 26 and I only learned how to say no to a male when I was 24 or 25. And it's crazy how liberating those experiences can be. And I've recently was asked to write down 7 topics that I could speak endlessly about, just when I was doing some self-journaling and stuff. And I put down self-love as my main topic. And when I was thinking about how to talk about self-love, it was really, I kept getting brought back to the topics of sex and love, and how the way that they are commonly taught isn't true for at least my truth, and I feel a lot of other people's truth, because they are stuck into these ideas of what a female is supposed to look like, or what a female is supposed to do, or how a male is supposed to treat a female, and that kind of stuff. So I want to tell a story that happened yesterday. I was at the park waiting for my partner to come and meet me, and I heard music over, and I saw a big crowd, and I was like, oh, I'll go watch, why not? And I go over to the crowd, and there's this clown, and there's a lineup of women, and it's all in Spanish because I live in Mexico City, and I didn't really understand everything, but I knew that he was getting all of those girls to he would cue music, and a girl would walk up and strut her stuff and do a dance. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, classic. Of course, they're doing a sexy dance competition, and the clown only picked females. And then whatever, I was watching, and then the clown came to me and was like, oh, ¿de dónde eres? And like, where am I from? And I was like, oh no. And then he made a balloon animal for me. And then he pulled me up in front of everyone. And I'm already hypersensitive to standing out here because I guess I'm a little tall for a female. I'm like 5'7". And like for Mexican standards, that's pretty tall for a female. And I also don't look Latina. And obviously I'm in Mexico City. It's an international city for sure, but predominantly there's lots of Latinas, and I do not look Latina. So I'm hypersensitive to the fact that I stand out. So I'm like pulled in front of the crowd, and I'm like, okay, of course out of all the females, he had to pick me. And then I was just really uncomfortable with that aspect of it. And then when it was like, okay, you gotta do a sexy dance, I was kind of like, oh, my battery's going to die. 1 sec. Okay, my battery I switched out my battery, so now we're good to go. Okay, so I was hypersensitive to the fact that that I stand out differently for like racially. And then when he was asking for all the females, like he would cue music, it was Shania Twain. And like he would get like, the girl would just like do a strut and then go to the end and like pose or something and then like walk back. And then, I mean, I didn't have to do it, but I just did. Like I was alone at the park. I was like, okay, this is like a good memory type thing. But then when it came down to it, I was like, oh my God, I have to do like a strut and like make myself look sexy. I was like, this is the epitome of sexual objectification. And then, because of course, if it's sexy dancing, but there's only females. And then, yeah. So whatever, I did my dance, and I tried to make it like a joke. Like the clown was at the other end, you were supposed to like go to him. So I like went to him, and then I don't know. He had like massive clown shoes, so I like pointed to his clown shoes. I was like, I don't even know. And he was like, no, you have to be sexy. That's not sexy. You have to do it again. Anyways, he was a clown. He was doing his clown things. And then it was just so awkward because, yeah, there's only females doing it. And yeah, I was there. And then there was like a process of elimination. And so like all the girls were lined up, and he would like put his hand over like a girl's head. And like depending on how loud the crowd shouted, that is who got eliminated or stayed. And then of course the frickin' blondie didn't get eliminated, and then it was me and a pregnant lady, and I was just like, oh my God, this is just really uncomfortable. And then at the very end, when I was like getting my prize, because I don't even know who won, everything was in Spanish, I didn't understand much, but at that point I was like, my arms were crossed, and I was just kind of like, I don't know. My partner was there, and he arrived, and I went to him, and I was so embarrassed. And yeah, he was like, that's kind of not cool. Like, why, if they were doing a dancing competition, why are there only females? And I was like, yes, I know. I was up there, and it was like sexual objectification. And yeah, I feel like that kind of behavior, or the expectation of women needing to be these sexy entities, is wrong. And it's not a female can be sexy. I'm not saying that you can't be sexy. The problem is that it is expected. And the problem is that a female, if she's too like one time I went to a party with some really good friends of mine, and I like dressed like I had like a high neck and like I long sleeves or whatever, and one of the guys said that I looked like a nun, and I was like, what? Why are you even commenting on the fact that I am dressed a bit more conservatively? Why does this matter to you? Or if you go out and And then on the other end of that, if you dress too sexy, it's like, what are you doing? Are you asking for this attention? Or you're distracting. You need to cover up. And it's like, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing. It's irrelevant to you. Like, it's not my problem that you have a problem with the way that I look. And then in addition to that, it's not about, in addition to that kind of side of it, another problem is when a guy decides that he thinks you're attractive, and then he's like, okay, I like you. I want to hang out with you. We can hang out together. And it's like, whoa, no, what? No, it doesn't work that way. And, like as if women are acting as a platter, and guys just think that they can pick and decide, and they're like, yeah, I like you. I want you. You can be my sexual object. And a lot of the times there's people who are not a part of that, but I was a part of that for a long time, and it's not cool. It's not freaking cool. And I find that, like, so the sexual objectification part of it is problematic, and then linked to that, I think that that's a byproduct of the love narratives that we have been taught to utilize as like fathoming of what love is. And what I mean by that is like the classic like love situation where there's a damsel in distress, and then like a guy needs to be able to save her and protect her, and that a female, like the female worthiness is associated with ownership, as in being owned by a male. And that isn't right. And I find that this is really linked to movies and stuff. And so that is my big surprise that I'm going to be doing. Movies and talking about these things. So for my next, for the foreseeable future, every single Tuesday when I come out with a new video is going to be dissecting a movie and talking about the love narratives or the sexual narratives or the relationship narratives that are commonly portrayed. And I'm gonna be picking them apart and being like, and calling BS on it, because our ideas of what love is like puts us into these gender roles that are so messed up, and also heteronormative. Like, Lord, I know that I'm coming from a heterosexual position, but like that's also everything is only for males and females, and there's a wider spectrum of people who exist, and I'm not going to be able to speak to that, at least not for right now, because I'm tackling it from a heterosexual perspective, and I feel that information is still valuable for a lot of people, because there isn't enough conversation going on about why sex and love as we know it is bullshit, and why we need to think a bit more critically of what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we're doing it. And I am really excited about taking on this project, and there's a lot of passion behind it, and there's a lot of associated content that's going to be coming out with it. So I mean, if you are if you've stuck to the end of this video, and if you are wanting to see more, I'm so grateful. I'm so excited to have these conversations with you. I hope you share this content, because it is important for females and for males to take a step back and think critically about their actions and what they're doing, and if they are really thinking about their truth, or if they're accepting the truths that they have been told and that they need to live within. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, and I am going to see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you.